family, welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in week one as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Browns going up against the Broncos. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Tonight, we wrap a busy first week of the season with a second of two on a Monday night between the Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get 17 yards there. And it's good enough for a Cleveland first down. As they run the counter play. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. Let's meet the offensive starters, and let's discuss Corey Coleman, first wide receiver drafted out of last year's class.
And there was a reason for that. When you watched his tape, when you watched his games, you saw his explosiveness and ability to play the ball in the air downfield. Don't get hung up on the fact he only ran 4 routes at Baylor. Just coach him up and turn him loose.
Second down following the run.
Detroit! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll send Gordon in motion left. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up third and about 6. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Brandon Marshall. No, not the wide receiver. A quality linebacker. Who can cover very well.
Offense faces a 3rd and medium with 6 yards left. Halfback sent in motion. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 47 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll need to get the play. And now with the play clock becoming an issue here, Gary Kubiak is going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Demario Davis there on the stop. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Right there, 56. 59. Check. Crunch.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
Joe Hayden is a complete cornerback. He tackled.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Real right. 26. Check 99. Big 20. Check 24.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He sets to fire deep. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
All right, here we go.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Backing up. Going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
Let's go.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Defense has set themselves up.
Here we go now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Marshall able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. Throw here out of the gun. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Gordon, 61 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and out. And now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
The slot man in motion right. To throw on second down is Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. 3rd and 2, Stafford. It's complete to Grant. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Hey, 50! Watch the twist! Watch the twist!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will find a man here as Thomas comes open. It's a pickup of 19. And it's a 1st down for the Broncos. They try the corner route there, Charles, and it works to perfection.
Boy, that's hard on the defensive back because if you get any fake or move to the inside, you have to respect it, and then the receiver breaks back to the sideline.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Stafford on 1st down, and it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. And the back goes into motion. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slant. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Stafford. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller from his outside linebacker spot. He comes up to drop him for a loss of 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Surveying the field. Going deep here. This is caught inside the 15. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield. Made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their plan, and we saw the execution because the confidence of the players was there.
And now a first down following that long gain. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On the left side, it's McDonald. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
I think we know it is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone, but these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't, and often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. And that is no good. He pulled it just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Play clock winding down. Trying to nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Big 20, big 20.
Here's Stafford now on second down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
Halfback sent in motion. Here's Stafford. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. And here are the Browns now as the offense comes back out onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Six yards to go here on second down.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. 3-9.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Gets it to Gordon. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's his first career game, and now he has thrown his first career interception.
So let's face it, that's very simply his welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it?
Get it out of the way, right?
Get it out of the way, and he hopes it'll be the last for this game and not too many in his career.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's out of bounds up past the 15-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Sometimes you get just a little over-eager defensively when you've got people backed up because the mentality is to attack, take the ball away, or at worst, just keep them backed up there for your own offense. They actually used their aggressiveness against him on that one and hit him big.
Absolutely. Had him pinned on the 2. Not anymore. In motion, left goes Crabtree. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 there. And it'll give the Broncos a first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They go play action here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From the 50, Stafford. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
That's right.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On first down, it's Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down.
Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. John Brown. As the first half is winding down, and the Browns add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 20-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back
out there. They may want to take one before the clock runs out.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we see Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Here's Stafford. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down. Seven yards remaining here on third down. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Emmanuel Agba in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Coleman has it here right side. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Britton Colquitt now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. Here's Stafford. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one all the way up to the 30. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it's a 1st down for the Broncos. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up on plays like this.
Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
He dropped it. couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. And getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
To throw is Stafford. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And it's 2nd down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down.
Now a handoff looking right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal.
4 down. Check. Hey, I need 1. Check 3.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go. Leopard. Set. 3-19.
Now they try the right side here. And some room to roam now. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. Well, every quarterback, especially a rookie quarterback, loves to have plays like that from a guy running the ball.
Takes a lot of pressure off the youngster, doesn't it? He doesn't have to throw the ball in bad situations. Just turns around, hands it to his big horse. And we've seen rookie quarterbacks ride great runners right into the playoffs.
Coleman, the man in motion right. So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. 3rd down and goal from the 8. They'll try to run it in. Johnson, 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Here's Stafford now on 2nd. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on 3rd down after that sack. Now Stafford. Hard throw, incomplete. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating from... And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Donald in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He's got time. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Benny Fowler that time. And now it's 3rd down.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence, and it could have been a bigger one.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Omaha,
Third and long, it's Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. Gary Kubiak's guys denied on fourth down. And this Browns defense stands tall. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to look deep down the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the return will stop right around the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw on second down is Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. So it's third and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. He'll drop to throw. Complete here to Gary Barnidge. 23 yards on the play. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep downfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. John Brown. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. A shotgun snap for Stafford. A right side catch by Crabtree. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be first down, Denver.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And they're going to speed things up here.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Monday.
To the air again, Stafford. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.
It's always a good play when you're able to bat a ball away or down, because if you actually tip it in the air, now the offense is getting a second shot at catching the football, or another receiver may come along and grab it out of the air and turn it into a big play. So if you make a play on the ball, make sure it's knocked away or down. Otherwise,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So the defensive holding penalty here, Charles.
You get outside of 5 yards downfield and you get grabby with an offensive player, the flag will come out every time.
Fresh set of downs here. So the D-line's going to spread out. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down.
We got 3. Ready? Check 3. Check that. Lady. 10.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, special every